we're live now. Ha, ha, ha.
Live na, ma'am.
Okay po, thank you po. Hi po, good afternoon po sa ating lahat, sa lahat po ng nanonood sa ating kwentuhang cybersecurity this afternoon. Welcome po. Ayan. Hello po sa ating mga viewers. Okay, sa lahat po na nanonood ng ating live, kindly do share our live. Yan. So if you want to hear our topic for today is about more on what we call strengthening election security, navigating complex digital campaign rules. So sa lahat po, yan, this is very timely. So sa nalalapit ng election, yan, ito yung mga kailangan nating tips na pwede nating makuha from our resource speaker for this afternoon. Ayan, so habang hinihintay natin ang ibang participants natin, ayan, so yan, share lang po natin yung live natin. Yes, hi sir. Ayan, good afternoon po. Ayan, andito po ang ating Aurora chapter. Ayan, President, Mr. Sherwin Glorioso, and also our VP for Peaceful Careers, Mr. Austin Carr, VP Austin Carr Enriquez. Hello po, good afternoon.
Good afternoon po. Magandang hapon mga ka-Peaks Pro. For
Yan.
this year, tayo yung kauna-unahan for kwentuhang cybersecurity with our
Yes.
beloved guest.
Yes. So, it's our new year, yan. So, we are from Peaks Pro Aurora Chapter. Ayan, welcome po sa ating cybersecurity kwentuhan. Sa lahat po ng nanonood, yan. So, kindly do share our live, yan. Para um, ma, makapakinig kayo ng ating latest and very timely topic for this afternoon. Yan. So, share lang po natin yung live while waiting for some of our participants here in the meeting po. Yan, kumusta naman po ang New Year natin? Yan, Sir Austin. Kumusta ang New Year natin? Ayan, bagong pasok. Ayan.
Okay lang yan. Enjoy.
Yes, ayan. So, ano ba yung ating for this year? Yan. So, magandang hapon po sa ating mga live viewers. Yan. So, good sabi dito yan. On my feed, yan. Nakikita natin yung mga viewers natin. So we do have 27 viewers in our live. So sabi dito from Justin Carl Alitanao. Good afternoon mga ka-Pix Pro. Yan. Good afternoon po. So from Gail Camaton, yan. Good afternoon po. Yan. Good afternoon po sa ating lahat. Ayan, sa lahat po ng ating mga ka-Pix Pro on live. Yan. So, yan, kindly do share our live po. Ayan, Angela Castañeto, yan. Good afternoon po mga ka-Pix Pro, yan. So, hanggang saan ba nakabot ang live natin ngayon? So, comment down kayo, yan. Comment down below, yan. Kung hanggang saan aabot ang ating topic for this afternoon. Because this is very timely for our season of this coming election. Yan. So, napakaganda po talaga ng topic natin. So, let's wait for the others. Ayan.
Magandang hapon po, AD Arlene, Ma'am Ruby, BP Ruby. Magandang hapon po.
Yes po, BP Ruby. Hi po! We miss you here in Baler.
Ako dati. Hindi ko na mabuti yung camera ko. Magandang hapon po mga ka-Pix Pro and mga ka-Pix Pro Aurora Chapter. Another very magandang topic to start the year. Congratulations in advance.
Yeah, thank you po Ma'am Arlene. Yan. We do miss you and hopefully we see you again. Yan, malapit na ulit tayo magkita with Ma'am Ruby. Yan. Hi Ma'am Ruby. Good afternoon po. Of course, now we have here now our VP for Junior, Pix Pro Junior. We do have here Mr. Samuel, VP Samuel Gacheco. Hi po, Sir Sam. Good afternoon po. Yan. So, habang hinihintay natin, I think Sir Sam's still setting up. Ayan. So, while he's setting off, yan. So, good afternoon po mga ka-Prix Pro. Sabi sa live from Miss Crystal Lombres. Hi, ma'am. Hi, VP Crystal. We miss you here on live. So, here, magandang hapon po from South Signal Taguig. Wow. Hi po. Good afternoon. So, ano na ba tayo? Let's proceed. Hi, Sir Sam. Good afternoon po sa lahat. Happy New Year. Yan, sabi sa live from Mr. Cesar Canlas. Yan, so on travel ngayon sila Mr. Chair. Yan, balita ko si Mr. Chair na baka nasa Cebu ba si Mr. Chair, Ma'am Arlene?
Yes. VP at Kate, i-shout out ko lang yung incident responders namin coming from Bacolod, nanonood sila.
Hi from
Hi.
DPS. Hi everyone.
Lang walang weekend.
Shout happy lang walang weekend. Shoutout sa Bacolod yan. You do visit here in Baler also, guys. Yan, masaya dito. Hopefully makapag-ano tayo, yan. Makapag-bonding ulit. Yan. Bagong ano natin from Bacolod sila. Hello everyone. So, whoa! Whoa, Aurora, go, go, go. Yes, we miss you, Mom Ruby. Hopefully you can visit again. Mamimit ka namin ulit. Okay. Sir Sam, are you there na po? Okay, so joining me today, our host, I am with VP Austin Carl Enriquez, and also our president, Pix Pro Aurora chapter, Mr. Sherwin Glorioso, and for VP Carriers and Austin Carl, and also we do have here, VP Cristalita Lombres, and also from the Pix Pro Junior, we do have here VP Samuel Gotcheco. So here, ayan, together we are excited to guide you through this critical discussion about how we can strengthen election security in the digital age. So kasama rin natin pag-uusapan ng mga bagong patakaran ng COMELEC pagdating sa digital campaign since our election is getting near. So ano ba yung mga tasks that we need to do? Ano ba yung mga notes na kailangan i-take note natin kung ano yung mga do's and don'ts natin? And also we could hear this one a suggestion and also reminder from our resource speaker for this afternoon. And sabi nga, alam nyo ba ngayong panahon and this digital transforming is malaki yung pagbabago ng pagdating natin ng election since sa kabila ng benepisyo, yan, maraming kaakibat yung ating election for this day. Yan. So, hi, Sir Sam. Good afternoon po.
VP Kate, nandito po ata si Mr. Chair. Good afternoon,
Hi,
Mr.
Mr.
Chair.
Chair. Good afternoon po. We miss you.
Good afternoon. How are you,
Chair.
Kate? Driving
Good
Ah,
ka na
afternoon, Mr.
kaya?
Chair.
Good afternoon, First Sherwin.
Hello, good
Kumusta na kayo
afternoon.
dyan?
Good
Balita
afternoon,
po.
BPA Mario Enteria.
Nandiyan na ba yung guest natin? I-continue na.
yes. Ayan.
Discipline. Good afternoon.
Yes po. Our guest speaker is here already na po.
Alright.
Okay, I think, Sir Sam?
Hello? Okay na ba
Ayan,
ako?
it's
Narinig?
here. Yeah. Narinig na po,
Thank
Sir
you.
Sam.
Ako na ba?
Yes po, Sir Sam. Go. Proceed na po
Ayan, so
tayo.
magandang hapon po mga ka-Pix Pro. So welcome po sa ating kwentuhang Pix Pro. And for this afternoon's kwentuhan ay guest po natin at makakasama ang ating Attorney Patrick Angara. So nandiyan na ba siya, Ma'am Kate?
Yes po. Andito na po siya, Sir Sam.
Ayan. So, pasensya na po kayo ha. Ako po ay from school. Akala ko okay ang signal sa school. Pero nagka-problema. So, bumalik tayo dito sa bahay. Okay tayo. Okay, so pasensya na po kayo. Ayan. So, magkakaroon po tayo ng kwentuhan ngayon with Attorney Pat. Attorney Pat, kamusta po? How's your week?
Hi, good afternoon everyone. So, medyo fully loaded yung schedule. So, pero syempre tuloy-tuloy naman yung ating pagbibigay serbisyo. Lalo po ito, napaka-importante po yung topic natin this afternoon. So, I'm very thankful for PixPro for giving us the opportunity na makapag-discuss nito for our followers. And of course, lahat po tayo bilang Pilipino, interesado po dapat tayo dito sa magiging proseso nating halalan. Kaya we really made the time and effort para po makapagbigay. Hopefully, we'll really have a fruitful discussion. So, yun po. Thank you, thank you.
Yan. Thank you so much, boss, Attorney Pat. So alam namin na kayo ay abalang-abala din sa inyong mga personal na gawain at saka mga gawaing paglilingkod din sa ating mga kababayan. Attorney Pat, pwede bang magkaroon po kayo, i-share niyo po sa amin, ano po ba itong COMELEC Resolution number 11064? Ano po ba ang pangunahing layunin ng resolution ito ng COMELEC na may bilang 11064?
So, as provided by the COMELEC, so one aspect now, because of the advent of yung use of internet, technology, then social media. So, the COMELEC, through these resolutions, actually, there are at least 3 resolutions now promulgated by COMELEC that pertains to the use of social media, to internet and cyber technology, which we will discuss in our presentation na tututok sa regulation and hopefully regulation ng activities particularly online, because in the survey now of several elections, not only in the Philippines, starting 2013 sa Philippines, malaki na yung naging factor ng social media in terms of election, of information and disinformation as well. So malaking factor yun. And even in other countries, even recently in the United States. Now, Facebook has recently announced na hindi na sila ulit magfa-fact check. So there would be further, as a Filipino, as a former member of the academy and as a lawyer, medyo mahirap makita or dapat talaga ma-regulate and mabantayan na natin. We make those people using social media and technological advancement accountable for their actions. Kasi any misguided thought or decision now, particularly in choosing our leaders, would affect all of us. So it is this regulation seeks to address, one, provide clear guidelines for all candidates and political parties on what to do, how to campaign fairly. So, and at the same time, to guide the people, we the voters, to look into properly our candidates. So that's the basic gist of the resolution.
Wow. So,
Attorney Pat,
isang lang pa lang
medyo...
yun ni attorney.
Yes.
So, bago po tayo magsimula, I think we should start formally our program for this afternoon. So, bago mag-start tayo ng mga topics ni attorney, so let me formally introduce to you. Ayan, nakita nyo na, di ba? Pahapyaw pa lang yan. So before that, before we heard the discussion from our speaker for this afternoon, it was an honor for me to introduce our resource speaker very this afternoon. So, Attorney Patrick Angara is a dedicated legal practitioner, an educator, and a passionate advocate for social justice and community empowerment. A graduate of Juris Doctor program from San Beda University, Manila, and a proud alumnus of the University of Santo Tomas, where he earned his bachelor's degree in political science. Attorney Angara has built a career deeply rooted in service, leadership, and excellence. Currently, he serves as an attorney at law and notary public at his own law office, specializing criminal, political, and civil law. His works extend far beyond the courtroom, providing free legal services to farmers, fisherfolk, tricycle drivers, senior citizens, solo parents, indigenous people, and other marginalized sectors. Attorney Angara also plays a pivotal role in grassroots organizing, policy development, and legal education for local government units and non-government organizations. He also served as the legal consultant for the municipal government of Dipakulaw, San Luis, and Dingalan in the province of Aurora, as well as a Liga ng mga Barangay Aurora chapter. In collaboration with the Department of Interior and Local Government, DILG, the Social Welfare and Development Offices of Aurora, and the Philippine National Police Aurora. And various faith-based organizations, he play a pivotal role in training and capacity development programs. These initiatives focus on human rights, protection, and conflict resolution, equipping barangay official law enforcers and community leaders with necessary skills and knowledge to effectively handle cases involving children's and women's rights, human rights issues, and other matters of community welfare. By engaging with the faith-based organization, he ensured that the programs were grounded in the values of compassion and inclusivity, fostering a holistic approach to governance and community support. Through this effort, he demonstrated his dedication to fostering a deeper understanding of legal and ethical responsibilities among local government units, law enforcement, and community leaders, ensuring the protection and promotion of fundamental rights within the community. As an educator, he has taught history, political science, ethics, and public administration at Aurora State College of Technology, where he also mentored young leaders as a co-advisor of the political science organization. Beyond his legal and academic endeavors, Attorney Angara is a champion of accessible legal knowledge through his radio program, Batas at Comunidad, which aims to bridge the gap between the law and the people by fostering awareness of legal rights and responsibility. He received a numerous award for his outstanding contribution, including prestigious Doña Aurora Youth Leadership Award and recognition from local governments in his invaluable legal services. Today, Attorney Angara bring with him not only his extensive knowledge of Philippine laws, governance, and politics, but also his unwavering commitment to community empowerment. We are privileged to hear from someone whose passion for public service and dedication through the rule of law truly inspires. So let us welcome our resource speaker for this afternoon, Attorney Patrick Alexis Angara.
And po, thank you for the kind introduction, Miss Kate. And I would really personally thank everyone for this opportunity. Then I hope we move forward na may nagkaragdagang kaalaman at skill, especially now. Na coming elections, lahat po tayo kailangan makialam at makialam sa ating mga mangyayari sa ating minamahal na bansa at mga bayan. So, ayun po. Thank you, thank you.
Ayan, thank you so much po, Attorney Pat. Thank you so much din po kay Ma'am Kate sa pag-introduce niya sa ating guest po sa hapong ito. So, napasimulan na po ni Attorney Pat yung medyo background ng resolution number 11064 na ito ng COMELEC. So, ang ideya po pala nito is paano ma-regulate yung mga gagamitin ng mga kandidato o yung mga pamamaraan nila sa pagka-campaign, especially using the technology o itong ating AI and internet. Ayan, so napakaganda po ng topic natin ngayon. So ito napapanahon at talagang parang ngayon lang to nangyari na talagang babantayan na ngayon ng COMELEC yung mga kandidato sa kanilang pagpo-post o yung mga lalabas nila sa social media. So Attorney Pat, sa sunod ko pong tanong, itong tanong po ay ano po ba yung binigay na guidelines o gabay ng COMELEC ayon sa resolution number 11064 na to para sa paggamit ng social media sa kampanya ngayong darating pong eleksyon? Ano po yung mga guidelines o gabay?
So, as I mentioned earlier and as you have mentioned, meron po tayong COMELEC resolution now, particularly sa social media and technological advancement. Pero for overall view, we have several COMELEC resolutions pertaining to the use of technologies and social media. So one, as we have already mentioned, is COMELEC resolution number 11064, which was promulgated last September 17, 2024. Later on, this said resolution was amended by COMELEC pertaining to the mandatory registration even of private accounts. Kasi originally under this law, under this resolution by COMELEC, lahat ng social media accounts that will be used for election. So meaning everything from campaign, sharing, posting, and promoting candidates, or even promoting against candidates, are mandated to be registered. So not only limited to candidates, political parties, but also their campaign managers, social media managers, as well as their private individual. So kunyari ako, kunyari hindi po ako kandidato, then ako ay pribadong individual lang, i-share ko yung post ng gusto kong senatorial candidate. Supposedly, I should register. So that was the amendment given. So tinanggal na yung mandatory registration for private individuals and their campaign managers. So the mandatory registration now is limited to our candidates and political parties. But also, there's a need to mention another resolution promulgated by COMELEC last December 9, 2024. That is COMELEC Resolution 11806, or what we call the Fair Election Act. Kasi under the said law, said resolution is the implementing rules of the Fair Election Law or Fair Election Act, which mandates certain practices and limits sa pangamamaraan ng pangampanya, yung sizes ng campaign materials, gano kahaba yung time allowed for radio ads, television ads. So by updating this last December, COMELEC ensured na covered yung mga covered po yung use of technology and social media. So yung live streaming, e-rallies, then even the posting. So we in this discussion, we will integrate everything in that aspect.
Okay, thank you po. Ayan, medyo na-excite po tayo sa pag-uusap natin ngayon. So I think na-prepare si Attorney Pat ng presentation niya for this topic. So ibigay natin yung time po natin sa kanya, and then we will continue the question and answer later on. So Attorney Pat.
So ito po. We will discuss, but we have partially discussed naman yung iba na. But we will discuss certain aspects of our presentation. So nakikita na po sa screen.
Yes po, attorney, visible na po.
So yun. So we will be talking about, of course, a topic outline is elections and social media, which we na-discuss na rin natin. Then the importance of understanding digital campaign rules, the crucial provisions of the COMELEC digital campaign rules, and the challenges and mitigation. So for everyone, syempre alam naman po natin, this coming May 12, 2025, the midterm election ay magaganap na po, in which the Filipino people, tayo po ay boboto ng ating national and local officials. So sa national positions, we will vote for 12 senators, representatives from the party list system. Then for local positions, medyan po yung mga district representatives o yung what we popularly known as congressman or women. Then nadyan din po yung provincial officials, the governors, the vice governors, the board members, city officials, city mayor, city vice mayor, city councilors, then the municipal officials. So municipal mayor, vice mayor, and sangguniang bayan members, or what we call konsehal. So now there's an important aspect, that is that of social media and internet technology. So as defined by the COMELEC Resolution 11064, social media refers to digital platforms and applications that enable users to create, share, and exchange content in engage in social networking. So kung dati more on yung interactions natin is face-to-face, now under the current developments, nadyan na yung social media. So it was around 2000, I think 2008 na medyo nagbo-boom na yung social media through Facebook, then nag-uso na si Twitter, then si Instagram, then si YouTube, and now TikTok, 'di ba? So marami na po yung digital age natin, and that is yung exchange of ideas and information, that is through social media. Then of course, internet technology yung pagiging accessible na ng hardware, software, and protocol services that enables transmission and processing and exchange of data through the internet or yung web, di ba? The World Wide Web. So that would be it. So what is the impact of social media and internet technology to the conduct of Philippine elections? So as we discussed earlier, marami po siyang naging factors in terms of engaging individuals, but at the same time, it became a mechanism for disinformation. So according to Rappler founder, a journalist here in the Philippines, baka kilala nyo, she is the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. Social media, according to Maria Ressa, is a deadly game for power and money. It is what we call surveillance capitalism, extracting our private lives for outsized corporate gain. So our personal experiences are stuck into a database organized by artificial intelligence, then sold to the highest bidder. So this is the danger of social media now. So mapapansin nyo, di ba? Pag tayo minsan ay tayo po ay nanonood or nakikipag-usap, parang naririnig ng mga phones natin ngayon, parang nagkwekwentuhan kayo patungkol sa mga alaga nyong hayop, mga dogs or cats, that mamaya lalabas na lahat sa feed mo. Puro ganon yung lalabas sa inyong timeline or kaya sa mga reels ninyo. So there is, and yung patterns, yung mga tinitingnan natin mga interest, yun yung nag-feed sa algorithm. Then yung ganon din yung mga paid ads na lalabas po sa inyong mga reels or timeline. Then at the same time, what we call or based on the discussions of Maria Ressa, in multiple interviews and talks, including that what she made during the National Endowment for Democracy, Ressa detailed how social media platforms like Facebook have been weaponized to spread disinformation, particularly during campaign period or election. She emphasized that algorithms amplify divisive content and democratic norms to spread false news, misinformations, and disinformation. So may pagkakaiba po kasi yan. Misinformation and disinformation, there's a difference between these two concepts. So later on we will discuss that. But the use of bots, artificial intelligence, as well as deep fakes, cheap fakes, false amplifiers, o simply what we call trolls, 'di ba? Yung mga troll army, yan na po yung tinutukoy ng yung false amplifiers in its simplest sense. Ano po? So disinformation, by simply discussing disinformation, this pertains to false information na pinapakalat. Although it is based on fact, pero ni-remove natin from its original context. So parang ginamit mo yung basic knowledge or basic fact na already existing, pero iniba mo yung context niya para maiba yung meaning. Then at the same time, misinformation naman, yan po yung pag it refers to false or inaccurate information which is spread in partisan political activity like the election. So in her book, How to Stand Up to a Dictator, Maria Ressa discussed how these algorithms sensationalize and divide and are used to make divisive content which amplifies this information and hate speech. So for example, this past election, di ba? Naranasan natin dito sa Pilipinas, talagang it's either pula ka or pink ka, then they made, pag tinignan natin yung social media, parang sobrang divisive. Parang yun lang tayo. There's no middle ground between us being Filipinos. Di ba? Hindi naman, pwede naman kasi we view or we support particular candidates, particular platforms. Dapat platforms talaga yung tinitingnan natin as a nation. Pero we're more based on personality politics. So instead of looking at important issues, we go to personal issues. We tend to use our emotions. So through false news, misinformation, and disinformation, marami po ang maaaring mapunta sa mga maling pagdedesisyon. So the role of algorithms now through social media undermines democratic processes tulad ng eleksyon by promoting content that polarizes our society and distorts our public disclosure. So, in order to prevent such abuses of social media, yun nga po, as we discussed earlier, ay nailabas na po ang mga COMELEC resolution na ito. So, this was already discussed earlier. So, now we move to the crucial parts. So, COMELEC Resolution 11064 and its amendment later on 11064-A is limited to the regulation of the use and prohibition and punishment of the misuse of social media, artificial intelligence, and of technology. So, we're looking at now at the digital election campaign na ito po ay pangangampanya or conduct of elections through online channels like digital platforms, Facebook, websites, podcasts na in which we promote the election or defeat of a particular candidate to a public office as well as to influence voter behavior during the campaign. So, in essence, sabi ng COMELEC, this under definition of terms nila, we are this in digital election campaign involves creating on any social media platform, online calling, messaging apps, or podcast, music streaming platforms, groups, which displays digital images, videos, or audio content for the purposes of conducting campaigns or related partisan political activities. So yung pagpe-play ng mga jingle, pagpo-post ng mga pictures or information or platforms patungkol sa kandidato. At through social media, pwede rin pong gawin yung pag-hold ng mga political caucuses, conferences, meetings, rallies, and other similar activities to promote a candidate, paghingi ng boto. So, for example, now, what we are doing is more on the education aspect, but during the campaign period, there is time or the candidates and political parties may use social media, live stream sa Facebook and other accounts or even through Zoom na magkakaroon po ng discourse or pagpapakilala doon sa kandidato o maghingi ng suporta o para maging opposition sa kanyang election. So, making online, digital, and virtual speeches, pagpapublish ng mga campaign materials and campaign literatures. So, dati, the traditional ways is yung mga polyetos, yung mga leaflets, packet calendar, tarpaulins, posters. So now, may advent pa po ng social media aside from the traditional media of yung mga publications sa dyaryo, radio ads, and television ads. Now, there is of course social media. So, one thing it's also considered in summary, yung directly or indirectly solicitation ng mga boto, pledges, and support para at laban sa isang kandidato through online and digital platforms. Yan po ang election campaign. So, kasama dyan yung enhancing and or amplifying the visibility or exposure of digital images, video, or audio in digital platforms. Kaya makikita nyo minsan, pwedeng mag-Facebook ad, lumalabas mukha ng kandidato, video ng kandidato, jingle ng kandidato. So, that is a way of election campaign now through social media. So, one major key provision of our COMELEC resolution now is the mandatory social media registration po, na kung saan lahat ng official media, social media accounts, pages, websites, podcasts, blogs, vlogs, or video blogs, and other online and internet-based campaign platforms ay nire-require na po ang lahat ng kandidato who are seeking elective office, kasi yung mga nag-file po nung nakarang Oktubre. Then political parties as well, including national, regional, sectoral parties, as well as party list organizations. But later on, na-amend nga, as I already discussed, dapat kasama lahat, campaign managers and in private individuals or entities. Pero ni-remove na ng COMELEC in consideration na ito daw po ay maaaring maituring na paglimita sa freedom of speech nating mga Pilipino, which is protected dearly under our 1987 Constitution. So the deadline for registration was on December 13, 2024. So nakita po natin, dapat nagpasa na po lahat ng kandidato, lahat ng political party noong December 13. So online registration po yan. May link, may Google Docs or Google Box na saan i-upload mo yung iyong mga documents na required, the COC, the affidavit of undertaking and whatnot. Tapos ipapadala mo pa yung hard copy sa COMELEC Central in Manila. So ano po yung magiging epekto pag nag-fail tayo to register? So ito, I think there are some candidates who failed to submit their registration or failed to register before December 13. So hihintayin po ng mga kandidatong to, ng mga political party and coalition na ito, na papadalan po sila ng COMELEC ng sulat na hinihingian sila ng paliwanag kung bakit hindi po sila nag-register at bakit dapat hindi sila sampahan ng kaso in pertaining to that. But later on, ang pinaka-epekto ng non-registration, kung ikaw ay magpo-post during the campaign period, mag-share ka ng poster mo, tarpaulin, or statement na iboto nyo po ako, sana isama nyo po ako sa inyong konsiderasyon, those posts will be removed. Meron po magre-request ng pwedeng i-request yung removal, takedown, or blocking ng content ng social media or digital platform or accounts na ginagamit mo. So that is the difference now. So will this impede the freedom of expression? No, it is a regulation in a sense to protect what we can say. Kasi hindi naman po sa lahat ng pagkakataon ay lahat ng sinasabi natin, lalo sa sinasabi natin malayang pananalita o pamamahayag, ay tama. So this is a way to regulate the activity and behavior of candidates. Kasi minsan, di ba, siraan ng siraan. So ito, pag ni-register at yung especially yung paggamit ng false news, disinformation, fake accounts, and trolls, which was a big factor in the Philippines since 2016. Diba? So, including the last election, malaki yung naging advantage ng mga gumamit ng trolls nila. So, this is a way to mitigate those abuses and to prevent disinformation. Aside from that, a key provision of this resolution is the use of artificial intelligence technology in election propaganda. So, alam natin ngayon na madali minsan, 'di ba, yung mga ChatGPT, etc., or even now, even creation of political ads, posters, videos, pwede na po siya through the use of artificial intelligence. But under this COMELEC regulation, lahat po ng propaganda, election propaganda and campaign materials ng kandidato at political parties nila na gumagamit ng artificial intelligence ay required na i-disclose yung fact na gumamit sila nito. Kailangan po ma-authenticate yung kanilang material na at clearly identified na gumamit po sila. So they have to declare. So there's a portion, for example, if the poster of a candidate posted in social media is created through AI, kailangan may clear na declaration within that poster. There's a text na AI produced yung poster na yon, or even videos or even songs, kasi marami na po ang nagagawa ngayon ng AI. Then, so these disclosures must be clear, conspicuous, and not easily removed or altered. So it must remain visible or audible in terms of kung yan ay audio material. So the disclosure or disclaimer shall explicitly state that the content has been manipulated or created using artificial intelligence. So nakikita nyo po, ganun na yung difference. So pag visual media, kailangan may text doon or ng disclosure or disclaimer na mag-appear sa font size na hindi liliit doon sa largest na font na ginamit for that campaign material. Pag audiovisual naman, same. It must be the disclaimer or disclosure of use of AI must be presented both in written form as well as audible statement, di ba? So clearly seen and clearly expressed. So for example, if it is a political ad na audio lang, sabihin natin play mo yung jingle mo na AI generated during sa Facebook post mo or Twitter post or Instagram, kailangan after the song sasabihin yung statement na clearly na sinasabi that this campaign jingle or campaign material was AI generated. So yun po ang kailangan, at kailangan malinaw daw po yan as per the rules of COMELEC under COMELEC resolution number 11064. So ano po yung magiging parusa kung we fail to disclose the use of artificial intelligence? Again, papasagutin ka ng COMELEC bakit ka nag-violate ng resolution na to, at magkakaroon po sila ng power to remove, take down, or block the content, your social media account, or even digital platforms from airing or sharing those AI-generated materials. Then aside from that, nag-set din po sa ilalim ng resolution na ito ang COMELEC patungkol po sa mga pinagbabawal na gagawin. So this is for us, especially na mga supporters or Filipinos, we should look into this para po maprotektahan natin yung ating boto. So under the COMELEC resolution, the COMELEC states that the following acts maaaring mapatusan ng any individual for any misuse and malicious use of social media, AI, and internet technology, at maaaring ituring pong election offense. So maaari pa po silang makulong in accordance with Section 261, Paragraph C, number 11 of the Omnibus Election Code. So kasama po sa mga...
Attorney Patrick,
Yes po?
teka lang, medyo mayroong ano yata, mayroong hindi na-mute. Please mute yung ano. Kasi yun, salamat. Okay, go ahead, Attorney Patrick.
So, as I was discussing, yung may in-state po ng mga particular na mga akto ang COMELEC na sinasabing bawal. Pag ginawa mo to, it is considered as an election offense. Pwede ka pong maparusahan ng fine, pwede ka pong ma-disqualify as a candidate and be removed even though manalo ka, or even you can also face imprisonment. So, ano po yung mga pinagbabawal na akto of election campaigning through social media? So una po dyan, yung if committed for the purposes, yung purpose po ng inyong pagpo-post o yung paggamit ng social media and artificial intelligence is to promote and propagate disinformation, misinformation, and to endorse or campaign against a candidate. Sisiraan mo yung candidate sa pagpo-post ng mga false information. A political party or party list. But caveat dito criticisms are not necessarily paninira. So especially constructive criticism. So as voters, ito po yung pinapakiusap ko. Maging bukas pong isip natin at dapat tanggapin natin na hindi perpekto ang mga kandidato natin. Never treat them as gods. Never treat them as na perfect persons, kasi we should look into their background. We should look into their shortcomings para makita natin kung nararapat ba talaga siyang maglingkod sa atin. So, yun po yun. So, even the Supreme Court stated in various cases na lalo po yung mga kandidato na may kritisismo laban sa kanya, kailangan hindi tayo bilang public official, or soon to be public official or aspiring public official, hindi po pwedeng balat sibuyas tayo. So we should be able to accept criticisms. But kung ang pinapakalat is false talaga, walang basehan, this is for disinformation, misinformation, maaari po siyang maparusahan under this, lalo kung pinakalat po through social media, through the use of AI, through the use of internet technology. Aside from that, to propagate disinformation or misinformation against the Philippine electoral system. So pwede rin naman po mangyari na dahil natalo yung kandidato, pag daya yan, peke yung COMELEC, or kung ganun ano pong mga palusot o paninira doon sa botohan, na sabihin nila nagkaroon ng dayaan pero wala naman po talaga, that may also be punishable under this resolution. So two concepts: paninira or pag-spread ng disinformation and misinterpretation against candidates, political parties, as well as the election system. So yung mga binabawal po ay paggamit po ng false amplifiers such as fake accounts, bots o yung robots, and astroturf groups filled with fake users. So ano po ba itong sinasabing false amplifiers? In its simplest sense, na maintindihan po nating lahat, ito po yung mga troll, mga peking account, na gagamitin para po magpakalat ng mga maling impormasyon, magpalobo ng mga kunyari followers sa kanilang Facebook page or mga social media pages. Kasi pag nakikita minsan nakaka-apekto sa pagboto, ay maraming naka-follow, siguro sikat talaga tong taong to, magaling to, etc. etc. So yung mga nagpapagamit po o gumagamit ng false amplifiers such as fake accounts, bots, mga Facebook, mga groups, filled with fake users to promulgate information and misinformation and disinformation sa pag-endorse o paglaban sa isang kandidato, political party, o kaya paninira sa Philippine election system, yan po ay pinagbabawal, especially during the election and campaign period, which we are already in. The election period started on January 12. The campaign period will start at February for national officials, March 28 for local officials naman. So aside from that, pinagbabawal din po yung coordinated inauthentic behavior or utilization of hyperactive users. For such purposes na nabanggit nga natin, yung paninira sa kandidato o pagpropromote ng kandidato, paninira sa kanya o sa kanyang partido, kung gagamit din po ng mga, ito naman, in authentic behavior and utilization of hyperactive users, ito yung mga bayad naman na pwedeng gumagamit sila ng kanilang totoong account or gumagamit silang fake account para ma-promote yung post mo, magko-comment-comment sila, i-share nila. So basically, it is within the ambit of the purpose of trolls. So yun po yung pinagbabawal din. Then aside from that, yung creation and dissemination ng deep fakes, cheap fakes, and soft fakes. So ano po ba itong mga sinasabi kong to? Ito po yung mga apps na pwedeng, kunyari ako po, mukha ko, magsasabi na po akong statement, through the use of AI or through these apps, magiging mukha ako ng ibang kandidato para masiraan siya. Magsasabi ako na pro ako sa isyong to, pero sa totoo hindi naman. Tapos through the app, mababago po yung boses ko, mababago yung yung face features ko. So magpapanggap ako na ibang tao. So yun po yung pinagbabawal din. Ganun lalo din po, ito po lalo sa mga kandidato, the use of fake and unregistered social media accounts during the election and campaign period. So ito po, kung hindi kayo nakapag-register, I suggest wag na po kayong magpo-post. Medyo i-deactivate nyo muna yung mga accounts nyo, or you can still use it but do not post election-related materials there. Do not ask for support, do not share your posters, your social media activity or your social media activities, or even your face-to-face activities na nakikita kang nangangampanya, nakikipag-usap, or nag-post ka ng speech mo. So yun po, bawal po yan dahil hindi kayo nag-registered. Then at the same time, the creation and dissemination of fake news, use of content produced through AI technology pero hindi kayo nag-comply sa transparency and disclosure requirement, yan po ay pinagbabawal. So then the last resolution is COMELEC Resolution number 11086, or yung the implementing rules somewhat of the Fair Election Act. So in compliance with the Republic Act 9006, known as the Fair Election Act, this COMELEC resolution establishes the regulations for campaign materials, mass media, and social media to ensure free, orderly, honest, peaceful, and credible election. This resolution aims to promote fair election practices. So as I have discussed earlier, ang tanging layunin po ng batas na ito ay siguraduhing patas at may equal opportunity po ang bawat kandidato at political party. So key provisions of the said resolution, it imposes rules to prevent the spread of disinformation and the use of bots and troll farms. It encourages transparency in sponsored content and digital advertisements. It also pertains to the use of e-rallies and live streaming para po ma-promote yung candidate or to interact with voters para ma-spread o magkaroon ng mas attention or at least mas makilala yung kandidato or the political party and their advocacy. So there is also a provision here explaining again kung ano yung social media, anong social media account. But the key point here is sinabi ng COMELEC, social media is a form of mass media. So meaning mass media, so it encompasses traditional media and the new media, meaning social media, internet, social accounts. Traditional media is limited to broadcast, to publication. So sinabi ng COMELEC dito straightforward na social media is considered mass media for election purposes. So a social media post, it may refer to a text, audio, or graphic content or a combination thereof published online using a social media account. So alinsunod po sa Fair Election Act, in accordance with this resolution of COMELEC, lahat daw po ng printed or published or even broadcast election propaganda para o laban sa isang kandidato o grupo ng mga kandidato para sa kahit anong pampublikong posisyon ay kailangan meron po siyang declaration sa kanyang post or sa kanyang audio file through writing or audio words na political advertisement paid for the name of the candidate and political advertisement paid by ng kung sino yung nagbayad for that political ad. So for example, may poster ka ng na ikaw ay kandidato. So for example, if I'm both Attorney Patrick Angara for mayor, so may poster yon, may nakalagay sa kung 2x3 ang allowed na poster size, may nakalagay by size font 12 na this political advertisement is paid for Attorney Patrick Angara, Barangay Suclain, Baler, Aurora, where I live. Kasi yun po yung nakalagay dun sa COMELEC rule. And this political advertisement is paid by, for example, it was paid for by my brother. So, yung name ng brother ko tsaka address niya. Pero kung yung candidate mismo yung nagbayad, nakalagay yun, political advertisement paid for by the name of the candidate. So, ganun po yung dapat lumabas. So, this includes social media posts. So, kung nag-post ka ng audio file o ng visual file, including yung video, dapat lalabas din po this political advertisement, sasabihin nung ad mo na ipopost mo din sa social media. Another key provision are the use of e-rallies and live stream. Kahit ano daw pong political party o kandidato, individual or jointly with other aspirants may hold peaceful online political meetings, rallies, and other similar activities. Ako, I would really like to encourage na magkaroon tayo ng debates para makita natin kung all show o puro salita lang ba yung mga kandidato. Ano po? So, maganda. Debates are very important for us to discern and dissect kung talagang worth ba na iboto natin ang taong ito o ang partidong ito. So, aside from that, the COMELEC through COMELEC Resolution 11086 provided rules for live streaming para sa mga candidates and political parties. Sabi po ng COMELEC, lahat daw po ng e-rallies should include a disclosure na ina-identify na ito ay political meeting or rally and provide the relevant date, time, and location information. So, ang mga candidates daw po ay maaring tumanggap ng mga regalo o game currency kasi 'di ba po pag nagla-live stream tayo using accounts, pwede magpadala ng coins or gifts, etc. Pwede daw po tumanggap ang kandidato. Pero what is not allowed is yung kandidato ang magbigay. For example, para makahatak ng mga viewers doon sa e-rally mo, okay, yung magko-comment ng ganito ay mananalo ng cellphone, mananalo ng bigas, etc. etc. Bawal ka po mamigay noon during live streams or e-rallies or even just to invite them. Yan po ay pinagbabawal sa ilalim ng ating batas. That may count as vote buying. So, ano po ba yung magiging problema kung maging non-compliance po tayo sa digital campaign regulations ng COMELEC? Aside from the administrative and legal consequences, pwede ka po kasi i-disqualify, hindi ka makaupo, or kahit makaupo ka, bigla kang i-disqualify ng COMELEC due to your violation of the election rules. And at the same time, pwede ka pa po managot, kasuhan ka po sa korte ng violation ng Omnibus Election Code, which are yung violation ng mga COMELEC rules will be considered as election offenses. So, yung mga challenges and mitigation natin patungkol po dun sa mga resolution na to, kasi tingnan nyo, ang ganda. Ang ganda ng purpose, ang ganda ng layunin. However, there are challenges. Una, yung enforcement. Sabi po, if you look into it, enforcing these regulations across a wide variety of online platforms and diverse user groups poses a considerable challenge. Paano ito i-monitor ng COMELEC? Paano ipapatupad? Paano yung paghahanap ng mga fake account? Ang daling gumawa ng fake account eh. Di po ba? So the effectiveness of enforcement relies heavily on the robust interagency coordination. So that is what we are proposing or nakikita nating solusyon. Yung interagency coordination ng ating COMELEC with law enforcement and as well as strong partnership with whom? Social media companies, government agencies, the academe, media practitioners, and of course, civil society. So how can we prevent misinformation and disinformation? First, we must strengthen the regulation and enforcement. So nandyan nga po yung imposing ng strict legal penalties. Dapat may maparusahan sa mga sumasaway. Lalo po yung mga gumagamit ng mga trolls, fake news. Dapat sila po ay makasuhan at maparusahan. At kailangan din magsagawa po ng content audit. So for example, is this post by a candidate or political party in line with the regulations of COMELEC? Is it in line or with our laws? Kasi for example, as provided by our Fair Election Act and as well as the Magna Carta of Women, bawal po tayong maglagay o gumamit ng mga campaign materials na bastos o kaya nagmamaliit base sa kasarian ng isang tao. So that is titingnan ma-content, dapat ma-audit yung content ng mga pinopost na campaign materials. Then at the same time, ito po napaka-importante, which is what we are doing now, is to promote electoral, meaning voters education, media, and digital literacy. Yung para maturuan natin yung tao how to determine kung peke yung post or yung information na napasa sa kanila, and promote electoral voters education, meaning dapat maituro natin sa kapwa nating Pilipino na hindi dahil sikat, hindi dahil galing sa pamilyang gantong apelido, hindi dahil artista, hindi dahil influencer, ay iboboto na dapat agad. Dapat usisain nilang mabuti po yung kandidato. Tingnan yung background niya. Kung bago po siya sa gobyerno, bago siyang papasok sa posisyon, ano yung background niya? Ano yung strengths niya? Ano yung educational background o ano yung mga nagawa niya prior going to public office? Pag nasa public office na, tignan kung ano po yung nagawa niya sa habang nakaupo. So at the same time, we should establish fact-finding or fact-checking mechanism. Yung we use collaboration with technology platforms, watchdogs for real-time monitoring. At the same time, develop systems for real-time detection and removal of fake news, transparency and advertising by mandating platforms to label political ads, disclose yung funding sources, work with platforms to integrate fact-checking tools. So dito po, we should empower our civil society, the academe and media, support independent journalism by providing resources and support to them. Kasi in the past administration, social journalists were really attacked. So marami tayong measures na pinapakita yon, especially in the Philippines. So in ending this discussion, we simply say, ito po yung iwanan ko sa inyo, again from Maria Ressa, the Nobel Peace Prize winner, if you don't have integrity of facts, you can't have integrity of elections. Kaya importante po na alam natin yung rules and alam natin kung sumusunod yung mga kandidato at political parties natin sa mga batas. Kasi pagpapakita yun ng integridad nila at kakayahan nilang maglingkod sa atin ng tapat. So, ayun po. Sorry, thank you for listening.
Thank you po, Attorney Patrick. So, tama ka, Attorney. So, election security is more than just technology. So, it's about fostering trust among voters, candidates, and election officers. So, kaya ka Pix Pro, ayan. So, ang mga Pix Pro natin, nakipagtulungan tayo to share awareness program like this our topic for this afternoon. Yan, sa pag-develop ng mga secure platforms. So, grabe, di ba? So, ang dami nating pwede palang gawin to ensure elections security. So, pero pinakamahalaga ay ang pagtitibay ng empowerment sa bawat botante at kandidato para maging informed at responsable users ng digital platform natin. So, cybersecurity isn't just about protecting system, it's about protecting democracy. So, kung bawat isa sa atin ay may tamang kaalaman at disiplina sa paggamit ng digital tools, yan, so mas magiging ligtas ang ating eleksyon. Ito ay nagiging ripple effect sa pagiging cyber aware natin. So, I would like to take this opportunity also to award our certificate of appreciation to attorney. Ayan. So, certificate of appreciation. Ayan. So, is presented to Attorney Patrick Alexis Angara for gracing the Kwentuhan Cybersecurity with the topic Strengthening Election Security, Navigating COMELEC's Digital Campaign Rules as its resource speaker on January 17, 2025 from 5 to 6 ayan, by Facebook Live. Ayan. So, thank you so much po, Attorney. Ayan. So, sa lahat po, yan. So, meron ba tayong questions? Ayan. From our live live. Sir Sam? Yan. So, sa lahat po, meron po ba tayong questions na we would like to cater? Like, meron pa tayong time? Ayan. Sa lahat po na nanonood sa live, yan. Check natin kung meron bang question from the live. Ayan. So, Sir Sam, do you have any question on your mind na pwede natin mai-ask kay attorney tonight? Meron ba kayong naisip na pwede natin itanong?
Yan, thank you so much, Attorney Pat. Malinaw na malinaw yung presentation niya. Parang talagang naunawaan ng mga kandidato yung kanilang role, especially sa kampanya ngayong taon. Ang tanong ko lang, Attorney Pat, anong magiging role namin as sabihin natin mga civilian ba o netizen sa bahaging ito? Kasi alimbawa merong netizen na nag-commit o share yung share ng share. Meron mapaparusahan din ba ang isang pribadong taong kagaya ko kung ako ay mag-share ng mga information na maaaring mali? Kasi doon sa presentation, ang pagkaunawa ko po ay parang ang mapaparusahan yung mga kandidato na gumagamit ng fake accounts o mga maling information. Paano naman po kung merong mga taong kagaya ko na tuwang-tuwa ako, share ako ng share, pinopromote ko isang kandidato, meron din po bang pananagutan?
So, in relation to that, yung lalo po kasi pag candidate, yung hinihigpitan ng COMELEC yung non-registration, tsaka yung non-declaration of the use of artificial intelligence. However, based on my understanding of this resolution, I think the prohibited acts which we discussed are applicable for all. Then at the same time, there's a proviso in this resolution of COMELEC, the three resolutions I mentioned, na a violation of this resolution would lead or may be considered as an election offense, pero maaari ka din pong maparusahan through other other laws. For example, the data privacy law, the spread of false information, so that may be punishable, or yung paglalabas ng mga sensitive information that is covered by the Data Privacy Act. Then at the same time, pwede ka rin po maparusahan under the cybercrime law. Then pwede ka rin maparusahan sa ilalim ng revised penal code. So maraming sources of law limited to it. Then what is being encouraged, kasi hindi lang naman sa kandidato, hindi lang sa political parties, yung campaign managers. Although what is limited is the registration and yung declaration of use of AI. Pero yung paggamit ng mga troll farms, share ng false information, ng paninira o pagpropromote ng kandidato o kaya paninira sa electoral system as a whole, yan po ay maaring maparusahan po tayo bilang mga civilian. Then at the same time, bilang civilian, ano bang pwede natin gawin? One, we should fact check first, di ba? Hindi pwedeng share ka lang ng share. Tingnan mo din, kasi may responsibilidad ka sa iyong sarili, may responsibilidad ka sa kapwa, especially the youth, the younglings, di ba? Yung mga bata, minsan, dahil shinare ni ate niya, shinare ni ganito, lalo kung may teacher ka, lalo kung mataas yung pagtingin sa'yo ng iyong komunidad, the more na ikaw ay dapat maging responsable in sharing this information. So, do your background checks, do your mag-fact check tayo. Then, at the same time, as civil society tayo sa PixPro, dapat mag-engage tayo in monitoring. Pwede tayo makapag-partner sa COMELEC, di ba? Pwede tayo makapag-partner sa Watchdog, sa NAMFREL, sa PPCRV, para bantayan yung mga kandidato na naglalabas ng peking impormasyon para lang manalo. So, yun po yung pwede natin gawin. As I mentioned, strong coordination between government, civil society, religious groups, the academe, journalists. Yan po yung we should all be watchdogs for this election.
And so, thank you po, Attorney Patrick. So, on our live, meron po tayong question. Hi po, Mr. Chair. Yan, nandito po pala si Mr. Chair. Diyan si Ma'am Arlene in our live.
Okay,
So,
siguro before the audience question, no. Kasi
Okay
I
po.
want to interject doon sa idea that we become a partner, no. of COMELEC and different NGO election watch groups or watchdogs, no? Kasi Attorney Pat, ang isang parang hindi ko narinig doon sa circular ng COMELEC is yung mga influencers na or Facebook users na maraming followers, maraming friend na nagbebenta ng kanilang accounts. We experienced that last 2016 campaign na yung mga groups or users na friend mo or groups na na part ka biglang nag-iba na yung group name, no? At iba na yung tono ng mga pinopost. Naging na sila, naging troll, no? Or mayroon nang nagpapatakbo ng troll farm. So I understand dun sa binanggit mo kanina na the difficulty in implementing in monitoring, no, and implementing the penalties. Yun namang mga nagbebenta lalo na yun ang kanilang ginawa ng pangkabuhayan for the past 6 years. The past 2 elections, naghakot sila ng mga friends, naghakot ng following, naggumawa ng mga fake Facebook accounts, and they had 3 years or more to do that, di ba? So baka ngayon wala tayong nabanggit doon sa regulation na they are also can be punished by this regulation.
So, I think in terms po yan, kasi they would count as fake accounts, or if not fake accounts, they will be as false amplifiers. Meaning,
Yes, but the one who sold, the
one who
account.
sold, kasi directly, the purpose of him selling, for example, is that would count on, titignan mo po kasi dyan yung intent eh. So, kung alam niya, that's what we call conspiracy. If alam niya na gagamitin to spread false information, etc., that would he or she will be considered part of the conspiracy. Therefore, pwede siya maging parte ng false amplifier. Then at the same time, troll farms, although not directly stated here, but troll farms are considered the false amplifiers.
Yeah.
So I think that they would fall that. And again, going back to the difficulty lang nung implementation, how do we track that? So kaya kailangan ng COMELEC ng technological experts to this. They need NBI, they need PNP, cybercrime units, then experts particularly in tracing. Kasi aside from this, pwede naman po mag-request ng COMELEC eh. Sulat siya kay Facebook. Nasaan yung URL nito, yung pagpapalit. And even tayo, pag tinignan mo po yung mga social media pages titignan mo yung history niya. For example, create siya, sabihin natin comedic page lang siya, puro meme lang. Tapos nung mag-e-election na, biglang page na ng kandidato dahil 5,000, 10,000 followers na. So, and meron din mga experiences as kami din po before we founded a page, later on parang maraming nagme-message na pwede bang bilhin na namin tong account na to. Yeah. Diba? So that may fall as a amplifier in that sense.
Although I would like to commend this regulation is really what we need, and also with the records of the new commissioners, especially the new chairman of COMELEC, sa nakita natin, based doon sa mga actions at mga ginagawa nila, they are really doing their mandate. So I hope na ito ay magiging contributor for yun nga sa ating fair na election for this year. Thank you, Attorney Patrick. Kate, we can now entertain yung questions ng
Thank you
ating
po.
audience.
Mr. Chair. So, siguro ito yung last question natin that we will be entertaining this afternoon. So, may question from our live attorney. Sabi niya, ano pong mangyayari sa kandidato na nanalo at napag-alaman na lumabag sa campaign rules at subjected po ba siya sa disqualification?
So, as clearly stated here in the COMELEC resolution, na yung violations of these acts may be considered as an election offense. So, as an election offense, they may be dealt with administratively. Pwede siyang i-disqualify ng COMELEC. So, pag makikita nyo kasi, you follow the social media of COMELEC as well as the website. Until now, naglalabas sila ng mga disqualifications ng mga nanalo nung nakaraang eleksyon, both barangay and national and local elections. Dinidisqualify nila kasi nakita ng COMELEC under its power authority to disqualify na dahil nag-violate sila ng election offense. Then liban po doon, maaari pa rin po silang makasuhan sa ating mga korte. So kung nag-violate ka ng election offense, ni-remove ka administratively ng COMELEC, tanggal ka. Pero at the same time, as public officials, para po sa mga aspirante bilang kandidato, baka akala nyo po, glitz and glamour lang yan. Puro pakita. Pag naging pampublikong opisyal ka na po, meron ka na pong tatlong klase ng liability. Una, administratibo. Pwede kang matanggal, Nino. It depends on the position you hold. Kung ikaw, pwede ka managot sa sangguniang bayan, panlalawigan o panglungsod. Pwede ka managot sa Civil Service Commission. Pwede ka managot sa ombudsman on the administrative aspect. Pwede ka pang kriminal. Pwede ka makulong sa court by judgment ng korte, by violation of the Omnibus Election Code or other laws na mababiolate mo because of your political activities. So, pwedeng revised penal code, pwedeng graft and corruption, etc. and whatnot. Then, civil liability. Ibig sabihin, magbabayad ka dun sa ng danyos doon sa mga na biktima mo. And at the same time, for feature pa ng mga kung ano nung kita mo o pati yung mga benefits mo sa gobyerno, magre-retire ka na, may ginawa kang kalukuhan, mawawala lahat yan. So, ganun kabigat po ang pagiging pampublikong opisyal. Makakala niyo po dahil sikat, makapangyarihan, etc. Public office is a public trust. So, sa ating mga aspirants, sa ating mga government officials, mataas na standard po ang pinapataw sa atin. Hindi po tayo ang boss. Taong bayan ang boss natin. So, kailangan mabago yung ganung kumbaga konsepto o pag-uugali sa kulturang Pilipino patungkol sa politika at mga leaders nito. As I mentioned, hindi dapat hindi mo tinuturing na Diyos eh. Tao din sila, but we must make them accountable for their actions.
Yes. Yan, di ba? Saan pa kayo makakita niyan? This is free on our cybersecurity kwentuhan. That is our free legal advice to our sa ating mga kakandidato and also sa ating mga viewers dyan. Ayan, we are now cyber aware. So, attorney, mayroon ditong last. Pwede bang kahit short or brief lang ng question na to answer? Sabi niya, who will monitor and evaluate election law violation? Is COMELEC capable with the assistance of police, NBI, etc.?
COMELEC has a task force in particular po natututok po sa monitoring. So task force KKK sa halalan. Yun po yung particularly tutulong. But at the same time, through law enforcement, they will ask also. Then at the same time, COMELEC has already signed a memorandum of agreements or understandings with media practitioners. I saw that post na post sa COMELEC na they already partnered with media practitioners. So, yun. One aspect. Sabi ko nga po sa inyo, kung may whole of government approach ang gobyerno tayo, whole of nation approach, lahat po tayo kailangan makibahagi. So, the watchdogs, the media practitioners, the journalists, the academe, dapat lahat po maging involved. So, COMELEC, I think, under its current leadership would try to tap everything or everyone to help.
Yan. So may task force KKK po pala tayo dyan na will cater for those election violation of our candidates. Yan. So thank you so much, Attorney Patrick.
Pwede rin po tayo magsampa ng reklamo mismo. Pwede tayo mismo magsumbong. Para
Pwede
po
tayo
sa
mismo
alaman ng
daw.
lahat.
Yeah. Ayan. So may pahabol. Pwede daw tayo magsampa ng reklamo. Tayo mismo yung mag-aano, mag-take for the law of action. Okay. So, thank you so much, Attorney Patrick. So, ang dami nating natutunan, 'di ba? So, kahalagahan ng election security, COMELEC digital campaign rules. So, maraming salamat, Attorney. And of course, maraming salamat din sa ating mga viewers. Ayan. So, don't forget of certificate for attendance will be distributed after our session. Yan. And make sure to check our page and like our page, of course. Ayan. So, Ma'am Arlene, ayan. Mr. Chair. Ayan.
Well,
Over
thank
namin
you
sa time.
on behalf of the National Pigs Pro Organization, Attorney Patrick. Maraming salamat. This is very helpful and very informative. This is the first I heard about this memorandum and very clearly explained. No? I hope our viewers will also be encouraged to, and our members, no, since this will stay in our page and YouTube channel also, and usually viewed after our session. So we'd like to encourage them also to participate in this whole of nation approach, no, for to have a balanced, clean, and successful elections. So once again, Attorney Patrick, maraming salamat, and I hope you guys will have a happy weekend in Baler. Kami, wala kaming happy weekend.
Happy lang,
Happy
walang
lang,
Happy lang.
walang
walang
weekend.
weekend. Press
Yan.
Sherwin, your turn.
Ah, maraming salamat po, Attorney Patrick. Despite of your hectic schedule na pagbigyan mo po ang Pigs Pro Aurora chapter na makasama namin kayo today. Actually, napaka-busy po ni Attorney Pat at malalayong lugar ang kanyang pinupuntahan dito sa Aurora. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair. And happy lang,
Actually,
walang
walang
weekend.
weekend. Actually, Press Sherwin, maganda to kasi nationwide yung viewers natin.
Yes po, Mr.
So
Chair.
sa isang upuan lang marami tayong na-disseminate yung magandang information na to.
Actually,
So
isa-share pa
kudos
rin po namin.
oo. At talagang 'di ba first ano nyo to? First hosting nyo?
Second hosting po, first in
Second.
2025.
Galing. Magandang topic. Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat sa Baler. Hopefully, February, makaakyat na kami dyan.
Opo,
Opo.
puntahan po natin si Attorney Pat.
Sure. Sige, schedule tayo. Okay. Kat, take it away. Kate.
Okay po. So, once again, this has been the Kwentuhan Cybersecurity, helping you out to stay cyber-aware, cyber-educated, and cyber-secured. Kita-kita tayo ulit sa susunod na episode, mga Kapiks Pro. Ano nga? Stay safe online and happy lang,
Walang weekend. Bye, everyone.
Yes. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you so
Congrats,
much.
Aurora chapter. Congratulations.
Thank you, Attorney. Thank you, Aurora.
Thank you
Salamat po
po.
uli,
Ingat
Attorney.
po.